everyone and welcome to day 8 of this advance series. Today I will be making a card for the Lottie and Lisa, which is a challenge that I play with my friend Annie, because we have some Lotties and Lisas at home, some stamp sets or dies or stamps that we both have, and each Sunday we pick one of them and create a card using the supply that we chose and adding another challenge. Today Annie decided that we should use the Lawn for Winter Sparrows and also add a banner. This is the challenge for today. And I started out with some dark craft cardstock from Papermania. That was a present from Annie to me because I saw her using that and asked what it was, and she sent some sheets to me and I really like it. I cut out that window and I picked my Winter Wonderland paper pack from My Mind's Eye and cut out another frame with a larger die. You can see I use this paper pad quite often because it has so gorgeous papers in it. I cut out that red frame that would go around the window, and then I also used another die which is even bigger to cut out some acetate. I wanted some acetate to be behind that window and I'm going to stamp on that acetate later. So you can see I'm playing around looking if this will fit. There's the sheet of acetate and I try to cut through the acetate with my die, but this did not work. I also added some sheets of cardstock to have more pressure, but still it only embosses, it kind of embosses the acetate. So I cut that out with my scissors. And then I took out this StazOn white opaque ink and added some white snowflakes using the Christmas minis from Hero Arts. Just randomly stamping some of the snowflakes to have a really nice snowy background in that window where the sparrows will sit later. So I set that aside to dry because it takes some minutes, and I stamped the two winter sparrows that look at each other to have a very lovely scene. And my first impression was not that good, so I stamped another one. I guess my Memento ink pad is kind of dead. I need to re-ink that or get a new one. So this is why my images often don't, they are not as crisp as I want them to be. Then I carefully had a look if the snowflakes were already dry, and they were. So I adhered that acetate sheet to the back of my card, to the inside of my card, and I use my tape runner. I use it for everything, and it also adheres acetate very well. So this is the window, and then I adhere the red frame that I had cut with my frame dies. And the cool thing about the frame dies is you can use the frame that they cut, you can use the inside as a positive for anything, for a panel to put something on, or you can use the negative like I did for the window. So you have different options to use those frame dies. Then I had a look for the colors and I decided to go for traditional Christmas colors, so greens and reds. And I think I took some olive greens, dark olive greens, to color in the scarf and the ear muffs. I guess that's what they called. And I colored the sparrows in red. So very dark red for the shadows and the bottom, and very, very bold red for the body, and just a very light red where the sun would be shining, so on their head. And I took a very dark yellow for their nose. I did not look the word up, so please tell me, what is the name of a bird's nose? I'd really like to know that. Of course I could look that up. Well, but you can comment and tell me. I cut those sparrows out and left some little white lines around them to really make them pop and stand out against the window. I had, when I colored in those sparrows, I did some very tiny mistakes. There was a little color out of the line, so I went in with my white gel pen and fixed that, and then I smeared the white gel pen, so I went in again with my marker. And then I took my Martha Stewart simple circle cutter and cut I cut a banner that is curved with this circle cutter, and then I lined that up on my craft mat and took out a pencil and just measured so that it is similar on every side, and then I cut a V shape to each side. So this is what Annie wanted. She wanted a banner, and there it is. It's not the same paper like the frame, but it fits very good. And I took out the what's it called? The Kelly Perky Joy stamp set again, because I like her sentiments. And this is the way I found out is the best to have a curved sentiment. I followed the curve and then put that curve onto my acrylic block. Like often, I used my powder tool to prepare the paper, and use some Versamark ink and white embossing powder to make that sentiment pop, and to use the colors that we already have. So we have greens and reds and white on that card, and of course the craft. And that sentiment really, although it was curved, really stamped out perfectly. I decided to go a little off to the side with that banner. First I had imagined to put it into the center of the window, but I decided that it would look even better if I put it off to the side. And I adhered that with dimensional adhesive, just like the sparrows. And they are sitting on top of the banner. The last thing I decided to do was to put a pattern paper to the inside of the card, and I took out the lawn fawn into the wood paper pad, cut out some light green. I used my corner jumper to round the corners, and the green paper is slightly smaller than the card base, and that will go on the inside to really make the window and the sparrows pop. That finished the card for today. Now head over to Annie's blog to look what she created, and I hope you join me tomorrow again. Bye bye!